Good afternoon. Welcome to CanaPino. My name is Peter, and of course, I'm joined by my lovely wife, Rowena. Hi, dear.
Hi dear, magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat. Good afternoon, mabuhay. Po si Rowena. My name is Rowena.
This podcast is really just all about cross-cultural relationships, and obviously, I'm a Canadian dude, Irish Canadian actually, and Rowena is from the Philippines, from Manila. We decided to start this podcast to talk about just some of the cultural differences when you start dating and getting married and things like that. So we will, last time in the last episode, we talked about our beginnings, where we met and how we came to where we are now. But we wanted to start talking about the differences in dating and whatnot in the different cultures between the Philippines and Canada. So, sweetheart, for you, I mean, you've been in Canada for quite some time, but what are the first things that really come to mind when you think of differences between Canadian and Philippine dating culture?
I've been here for since 2008, and the difference between Canadian and Filipino dating is Filipino is more is a long process, you know. But in Canadian guy is they are more. I notice, it's my opinion. It's they're very honest and direct. It's they're not really playing around. Just they're gonna say whatever they want to say, And Canadians are not used to being dramatic.
So
Very minimal. So if Filipino is if Canadian is saying "I love you" means that that's very honest and true. And then of course Filipino also saying that, but the problem for Filipino is very short period. It took them when they met the girl and they talk. It took them, I think, overnight. They will say "I love you."
so very
That's the
fast,
difference.
very fast to fall in love.
Very fast to say "I love you." So
Gotcha.
you don't know the truthness of that, but yeah, that's mostly typical Filipino like that.
So do you think that's like a cultural thing? It's sort of expected to say "I love you" very quickly because that's part of the relationship or the relationship building, or is it just maybe they do actually love you, but it just happens faster for them?
I know Filipinos are very conservative and very traditional in courtship or like ligaw, and because they say they're portraying that they are very romantic, that they're really hopeless romantic. That's why they say "I love you." But the gesture also, they're saying for the courtship, it take really a month, or it depends, 6 months or a year. But the guy will bring you food, bring you flowers, bring you chocolates, and bring you the whole shebang. And then before they're giving letters, but of course because of the generation of for computers, so they're giving letters, love letters, and the sweeter the better. You're in. And then they will do the harana, means serenading the lady that they like. That was really long time ago, that one. They're not doing anything. And then, of course, if the Filipinos doing courtship to you, not only the person you will courtship, so her mother, her parents, her friends, her relatives, even their neighbors.
So it's a whole family affair kind of
You
thing.
have to go to be involved to them, so
I
that
see.
you are in good positions to win her heart.
I see.
Like that.
So is that more like to the girl's side of thing, or does the girl do that with the guy's family too?
No, the girl's side.
Just more the
Yeah,
girl's side.
yes,
Gotcha.
the girl's side, because very conservative. Filipina is very conservative. I remember my parents. Say, "Oh, if you meet somebody, you meet the guy." I was really young then. If you meet the guy, don't let him kiss you, because if he will kiss you, you will get pregnant. Oh my God. what's the mentality of my parents that time.
Wow.
And that's my parents. And then one day I was in high school, and then I met that, I think 5 or 8 years older than me.
Hmm.
And he was fond of me. He kissed me. You know what? I was crying and crying and crying.
Because you thought you were pregnant.
I was crying. And then my mom was saying, "What happened to you? Why you're crying?" "I'm pregnant." Oh my God, the whole word, my mom,
Oh,
I
man.
can't remember, was so shocked. "What happened? Tell me about it." And then I said, because my one of the guy kissed me in my cheek, and then I'm pregnant already.
And so when you told your mom, did she freak out or did she just calm you down and say, no, you're okay?
Oh, when I told that, I explained already what that, and she calmed down. But the first time when I said I'm pregnant, she freaked out really, the whole
Well, I would
whole
imagine
word.
so. I can just imagine your mother. Holy moly.
So that's the one that, they're implanting us. Don't get involved to the guy because you will get pregnant right away. Don't, don't mingle with him. So they're very strict about that. So, yeah.
Well, you Filipinos, bunch of fertile myrtles.
But, and at long run, because of the parents are involved, the family are involved, so that they knows what's the guy background. And then, they will encourage more if they really like that guy. If not, they will close the door, and then, well,
Get
we're
out.
trying to sleep here.
Get out.
Get out. That's the way of the courtship in Philippines. It's really, the guy is really giving hard time because, we're not easy to get. We're playing hard to get. Wow.
How did your family feel about you? Well, first of all, finding someone, and second, finding someone from a different culture.
Oh, what my parents react?
Yeah.
Yeah, my parents, because I'm old enough. I'm really old enough, so they understand what is my my love life, my interest. They respect. They're good because they knows that I'm already old enough to to understand what is good, what is bad. So they respect that. So when I met you and I mentioned to them that I'm seeing Canadian guy, and then my mom was really happy because the mentality of Filipino. My mom, I'm not really for everyone. My mom was really happy. Ooh, puti. Puti is like white guy. She encountered only white guy when I said I'm dating a white guy, because I never really date any nationalities, only you. So she was happy. My dad was happy too, and she said, as long as you're happy, we're happy. So yeah, good. She said.
But there's also certain like perceptions that come with like the Filipino view of white guys or white people in general.
What view?
The
What do you mean
perception
view?
of white people, like that they're all rich.
Oh, yes, yes, yes. I explained to them that Canadian are very modesty, and is that
And
they're,
this guy's broke.
their modesty and very low profile, is a low key rich person thing. But my husband is just delete the rich, low key person.
Of course, I wasn't your husband then.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. So, and how about you? Do you have struggle that you're dating a Filipina, and why you're dating Filipina, not other ladies? Do you have any more selections?
No, I mean, I did date some other nationalities, but you were the first Asian girl, and I said this in the first episode that you were the first Asian girl that I dated, and obviously I like it. So, but kaboom, but I did date some other nationalities, but in terms of like my family's perception of it, I mean, they were just they were interested in you as a person and also the culture. So there wasn't any, there was no thoughts of
Barrier.
like, oh, you shouldn't be dating a girl like that or anything. It was more, they were more happy for me and just interested to learn more about you. And I know like when I first got introduced to your family, of course,
Yeah.
it was all remote. It was all on video calls. The language barrier is the biggest issue for me in terms of meeting your family. But I mean, they were all, of course, very nice to me, and I'm very thankful for that. But in terms of my family meeting you, like, what were your impressions when you met my family?
It's really hard to go that, you're thinking that you will meet all Canadian people and there's no any other Filipino that I can talk to. That's the first thing.
Meanwhile,
And then of course, when I met them, they're very, they're very warm and welcoming me, especially mom was so loving and so, hug me right away then. And from the start, she was there, guiding me. But this my husband. I thought he will be with me all the time, but as soon as I, went to his family, he left. He just chat with his siblings and everybody. So I said,
yeah, sorry about that.
but it's okay because I become independent and I learn how to mingle with them without oh, I feel afraid, I feel nervous. No, I just stand up myself and then all you can do is smile.
Well, I know for my mom, of course, she welcomes anybody and everybody into her home. But I noticed that the relationship that you and my mom had grew very quickly because you're such an open, caring, and compassionate kind of person, which is very similar to my mother. So I think she really connected with that, and that's really a big part of why you guys connected so well, I think. And then the rest of my family, I mean, they were glad that you were able to come and find your way into that group, because I know with a family of 6 it can be intimidating trying to build some sort of rapport with people, because you're kind of pulled in all kinds of different directions, as well as just being uncertain of how you're feeling about different things, or feeling about wanting to say the right things and do the right things and not be misjudged or what have you. So I can understand that apprehension that you might have had. But
Yeah.
I mean, you were fantastic. Well, you were fantastic just, because you do the job that you do, being a PSW, you've got that experience to be able to go into someone's house and just say, hi, this is who I am. So that translated really well with my family.
And also in our Filipino culture, we are very highly respect to all the elderly. So, and then how about you, sweetheart? When you met Rika, unfortunately you didn't met my brother Kuya. So
yeah, well, I mean, I met Kuya on video chat a couple of times. I wished I had had the opportunity to meet him in person before he passed away. But when we first went to the Philippines, and it was certainly not the best of circumstances, going for your brother's funeral and so on. But I mean, it was nice to meet your mom and your dad, even though I had met them when they came here the first time.
Oh, yeah, that was 2017
17, I think. Yeah.
when they came and they visited us. Yeah.
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 And I mean, they were super nice and they were, very glad to be here. And then, of course, when we went to the Philippines, they were glad to have us there. And I felt very, welcomed and warm, even though we had that language barrier. I still felt very, well received. And same, your sister's a bit more on the shy side,
Yeah.
but,
Yeah.
I can understand that it's a very different kind of thing. But of course, her and her family, little Gab and Noreen, they were very sweet and happy to meet me.
Yeah, and my parents really love you. When they came here, you treated them really well. You drive them around, and you cook them. They
Didn't
really
cook
love
them.
you.
I made food for them, honey.
I'm sorry.
Let's get some of that terminology straight. English lessons still in progress.
Cook them. Oh my God. Yeah, they really love you. Sometimes I feel jealous because they love you more than me. But it's okay. Yeah.
One of my best memories of your mom and dad, nanay, tatay being here was the first day they were here, and that was beginning of July that they came. For the first, I think it was like 3 or 4 days, your mom still wore like a hat and gloves sitting on the balcony, which was funny.
That's right.
But the one of the funniest memories I had of them being here was going to the liquor store.
Oh dear. The LCBO.
At the LCBO. And walking in your dad's eyes, he was like a kid in a candy store. Is like he just looked around like the world was here. Like, this is it. And then I remember getting a picture outside of the LCBO of Nanay and Tatay with their bags of treasures that they bought. And just like the biggest smiles ever. It was so funny. So funny.
Yeah. And also, when my parents was here, we just mingle with Peter's family, and that was really good. We hung out because Peter's family's music, they knows how to sing and play music. So my dad also, sometimes he sing.
Yeah, he's saying I did it my way.
Yeah. And also, because there's a little bit language barrier, so we teach them how to, how to connect to family, Peter's family. And you remember how they connect? We teach them because
Yeah.
my mom will say, Peter said, Nay. Nay is my mom calling Nanay. Right, Nay? That's right. Tatay? Precisely.
Yeah, they had a lot of
they
fun.
have their own conversation. They fit in.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think they had a really good time when they were here. I mean, we had fun with them as well. We took them all over the place. We went to Ottawa and Montreal and Niagara
Yes.
Falls, and yeah, it was a lot of fun. Did your family ever have concern or reservations about you and I being together?
There's no concern. No
No?
concern. Yeah, they're really happy to have you as a family. So yeah, they're really excited every time we have new ventures like moving together. So I ask them, even though I'm too old, too old already, I ask them that I met a guy. I have to move together. They said, as long as you're happy and I respect your decision and just be happy and enjoy, And finally, they said, they're happy because, I met somebody even because I'm getting old. They said they're really concerned I'm getting old.
You make it sound like you're in your 70s.
I know. Yeah,
goodness.
because my mom, they always, it's not really typical parents, but they always, have a shots every night. So, so when they get drunk, my mom sometimes will call me in the middle of the night here in Canada, and and my mom, I remember, was crying. "Ah, you're getting old. And she was drunk. You're getting old. When you get married, when you get married. Oh my God.
That was
And
before you met me?
yes.
Oh, man.
So that's why it was a relief.
It's funny, because I hear the same kinds of things from like European women, where they say, their mothers are always on them about finding a husband and having kids and doing that whole thing. And making it sound like they're running out of time. It's so desperate. You
Yes.
got to do it now, or it's never going to happen.
True. Yes.
Whereas, like North American, like maybe some North American, if there's close enough ties to whatever background they have, but typically, like Canadian mothers, anyways, as far as I can tell,
Yeah.
don't really have that same kind of push. I mean,
Yeah.
certainly not in my family, but I never really noticed it in any other Canadian, families that I was around. I think that's probably a little bit of a cultural difference.
I think so. Canadian, parents are very easy and there's no pushy or no, yeah, what is this? Frustration that you have to do something and they will push you.
I think a lot of it comes from like the religious background too, because Philippines is very religious,
Yes.
and being more religious, there's more emphasis on family and having families and being married and doing all of those things. So it sort of makes sense that that's all kind of connected.
Yeah.
That
typical, like
Yeah.
typical Filipino that my mom and my dad is very, religious, Catholic. And then they want to be, their kids are straight, straight that you don't have to play around. And of course, even for sex, yeah, I can't really do that without marrying the person first. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
And it's funny. It's like there's in Canada, I mean, there are religions and devout religious people, but we play it a little different here. We're a little fast and loose when it comes to the religious rules. It's
I
like
know.
you could be very religious, but it's okay. You can still move in with the guy before getting married, or you can still have sex before getting married, those kinds of things. So we play a little fast and loose with the rules here in Canada.
Super
That's all
fast.
part of being the peacekeepers.
Try and try muna. Try and try first.
That's
Try and
right.
error.
That's right. Well, on that note, I wanted to thank everybody for dropping in and listening to the podcast this afternoon. Appreciate it. This is episode 2 of, we're planning on 12. It may go more, depending on how all of you receive it. And if you have notes or comments or questions or things like that, please feel free to email us at canapino25@gmail.com. So CANAPINO25@gmail.com. And you can leave us your questions, comments, concerns, shoe sizes, and whatnot in that email, and we'll be happy to say hi the next time we do a show. The next one is going to talk about the challenges of intercultural relationships. So
Ooh,
things like
interesting.
things like homemaking and sexual positions. No, maybe not that.
Oh dear.
I just wanted to see you go red.
Oh dear. Oh dear. That's parental guidance. Oh dear.
Next show is rated PG. Anyways, we will see you all again next time. Thanks so much for tuning in, and have yourselves a great day.
Thank you so much for listening to us and see you soon. Bye.